Enter Britney Spears.
After years of heartbreak, betrayal, and an endless cycle of hope and disappointment, Rashida had finally reached her breaking point. She stood in her living room, arms crossed and heart pounding, ready to stand her ground. The room was thick with unresolved emotions, the air heavy with tension. Kirk Frost, the man who had once stood by her through everything, now felt like a stranger. Enough is enough, Kirk. I'm done with the games and the lies, Rashida said, her voice steady but sharp, like a spark threatening to ignite the room. Her words hung in the air, a storm waiting to erupt. Kirk, caught off guard, shifted uneasily and struggled to maintain his composure. "Baby, let's talk about this," he said, his voice unsteady as he nervously ran a hand through his hair, a gesture that once made her heart skip a beat. But this time, Rashida was unwavering. Years of trying to fix what was broken had drained her, and she wasn't about to back down now. Rashida's eyes narrowed, each word cutting like a blade as the echoes of their shared betrayals filled the room. Kirk tried to appeal to her emotions, clinging to their years of marriage and the life they had built together. "We have a family, Rashida. You can't just throw that away," he pleaded, his tone desperate. But Rashida was done with the guilt trips. "You think a family can survive on lies and deceit?" She shot back, her voice firm and unwavering. The fire in her eyes made Kirk seem small and uncertain for the first time. "I've been more than patient, Kirk. I've given you chance after chance, and what have you done? You've taken my trust and shattered it," she said, her words landing like blows. Kirk's voice wavered with a faint trace of desperation, but Rashida remained resolute. Her heart pounded as she realized the weight of their turbulent relationship was a burden she could no longer carry. For the first time in years, she felt free, empowered to reclaim her life. "I can change. Just give me another chance," Kirk begged. Kirk's face twisted with anger. "You're going to regret this. You're making a big mistake," he spat, his voice sharp with frustration. But Rashida only smiled, a quiet defiance glimmering in her expression. "I doubt it," she replied, her voice calm and steady. With every word, she felt a weight lift off her chest, a rush of adrenaline as she finally let go of the toxic energy he had brought into her life. She moved toward the door, her heart pounding like that of a warrior ready to conquer the unknown. Kirk's voice followed her, dripping with bitterness. "You want me gone? Fine. I'll show you what you're giving up." She watched as he fumbled to gather his things, stuffing clothes into a duffel bag with frantic movements. The man in front of her no longer resembled the partner she once loved. Instead, he was a shadow of the person she had believed in, a reminder of all the lies and betrayal that had unraveled their life together. As Kirk stormed toward the door, his presence seemed smaller, less significant. Rashida stood rooted, feeling the years of hurt and disappointment begin to dissolve. "I deserve better than this," she said firmly, her voice carrying the strength of someone who had finally reclaimed her power. The door slammed behind him, and the silence that followed was profound. Rashida's pulse raced, not from fear, but from exhilaration. She looked around her now empty home, feeling a newfound clarity wash over her. "I'm reclaiming my space, my life," she whispered to herself, standing tall in the quiet. For the first time in years, she felt free. Looking back, Rashida inhaled deeply, her veins coursing with a newfound sense of empowerment. The thrilling prospect of freedom and self-discovery awaited her as the echoes of their turbulent relationship began to fade. Outside, Kirk felt the weight of his choices bearing down on him. He hadn't just lost a place to stay. He had lost the woman who had stood by his side through every high and low. The dynamics had shifted, and Kirk knew there was no easy way back. Rashida was no longer the woman he could manipulate with empty promises. She was a force to be reckoned with, and he was about to learn the hard way that the game had changed. The stage was set for a dramatic showdown, and all eyes were on them. Could Kirk rise to the occasion and face the consequences of his actions? Or would this saga spiral further into chaos? Meanwhile, Rashida was done, truly done. After enduring years of betrayal, lies, and infidelity, She was ready to move on. According to Rashida, Kirk wasn't just unfaithful, he was a master manipulator, a serial cheater who had shattered her trust so deeply that she no longer wanted him around their children. "This isn't love," she had said, her resolve unshakable. The drama of their relationship mirrored a messy hip-hop storyline, but this time, Rashida was rewriting the narrative. And let's not forget Kirk's track record. When Jasmine exposed the truth to Carrie about having a son with Kirk, it only cemented his reputation as a man who couldn't be trusted. Rashida had seen enough, and this time, there would be no turning back. The audacity to lie to Jasmine in front of him, acting as though he didn't even know who she was. When Rashida read through the chaotic string of text messages between Kirk and Jasmine, he stood there, denying every word. But Rashida wasn't buying it. She had all the evidence right in front of her. "Kirk, seriously? How big of a liar can you be?" she said, her frustration boiling over.